Right?
All right, we're going live then. Him with the O'Reilly.
We'll do it live.
We'll do it live. We'll do it live. We're going live.
All my Bill O'Reilly people.
All my Bill O'Reilly folks, what's going on? Oh, hold on. I gotta do live on my I Go Live first. But what is going on? This is the Gentleman of Crypto, episode 12. I'm King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay.
And we are here to talk more Bitcoin and cryptocurrency talk. Take it away, Bitcoin Zay, while I set this up.
Oh yeah. Well, to start off, if you see the title, Bitcoin got wrecked, so to say, last night. $200 drop, which honestly, if you've been in crypto long enough, this is just a drop in the hat, drop in the bucket, so to say. Nobody that I know that's investing in crypto is really panicking, but some of the new people, I know that when you see these price swings in your mind, you think, okay, what's happening? These guys keep telling me about crypto. They keep telling me to buy it. The best time is now, and oh, it dropped.
Keep losing money.
Yeah, exactly. But what I will say is, the biggest year that I've ever told everybody I knew about Bitcoin was 2015. And the price in 2015 dropped from 1,100 all the way down to 150 over the course of the year. So you gotta think.
And he's over here. Come on, people, keep buying. Yeah.
So imagine somebody telling you buying for a whole year, and every time you buy, it's dropping over time. However, those people that did buy, if they kept it for these last 2 years, most of them are up 4 or 5, even 400 or 500%, even 1,000%, depending on that. So yeah, it was absolutely hard. I got laughed at a lot. People were like, "What are you talking about? Like, why is this even a thing?" That's kind of why now the resiliency I have has come, because when you promote something in the absolute worst year,
straight bear market.
Yeah, the worst year of Bitcoin ever. That was the only year Bitcoin wasn't the #1 performing currency in the world. So
right,
I mean,
since its inception, right?
Yeah, since its inception. So in my opinion, if you are going through it right now, like, oh, we're losing a lot of money, just remember. I was telling people about Bitcoin when it dropped over $1,000, and if you keep at it or you keep telling people about it, they'll get to it. But they may lose some money to start, but we're thinking long term. So all those people that invested have made at least triple their money, every single person. Yeah. So think in 2 years, if you're losing money right now, don't worry, you'll be all right. I personally think we need this correction, because that bounce back from 3,000 was a little too fast.
It happened really fast.
It happened over the course of 24 hours.
Yeah.
You kind of want to see that bounce back over the course of 2 or 3 days for a healthy, buys or whatnot. But it looked like it was just a perfect moonshot. So yeah, Bitcoin got wrecked last night, but keep the faith. For those of you who trade, this is a good time for you if you want to short it, if you want to push it into alts. Yeah, I gotta have cojones.
So what would you suggest? Possibly shorting, holding, any other things?
And diversifying in the alts. I have seen some alts that have jumped 100 and I think 60, 120% over the last 3 days. I think 4 or 5 of them. So.
Yeah, DAR jump, Core jump,
Start,
Internet of People, Start. So yeah, it is a bunch of altcoins jumping. There's a lot of conferences coming up. Like I think it's like 6 Zim conferences coming up as well. There's Rise conferences going on.
Patient Tour is having a conference this weekend in Atlanta, or they were invited to a venture capital conference. So yeah. So
there are opportunities in the altcoin market. You just have to make sure they're not getting pumped and dumped, because the pumping is going on.
Oh yeah.
But with all that, when we talk about diversifying the altcoin market, remember we say you got to look at tweets as well. Charlie Lee tweeted yesterday something about, was it BTC, I believe?
Yeah, he said it's
Vert. No, he tweeted Vert. What did he say?
Yeah, he said BTC is going up 60% today, or so. Buy it, it's going up 60%.
And actually, people did have it on their trajectory for some upcoming stuff, but it literally went up 40% in less than an hour.
Yeah.
So for the people who were privy enough to see that tweet and go in on it, they did great.
Yep. And he retracted it an hour later, and they.
Right, and then went right back.
Yeah.
Once people realized it was off a tweet, they're like, I gotta get me out of here.
Yeah. And he's done that with Litecoin.
Yeah, he has done it. He's done it with Litecoin.
He tweeted that with Litecoin, and went up 20% in 1 day. So,
so next up, of course, is Mexico. They're trying to regulate crypto. I'm here reading a comment a commenter put. Where is it at? He said, how about Mexico handles their cartel problem first? That was Apex. And I'm with him. Mexico is literally trying to allow their central bank to regulate all Bitcoin startup companies and the technology and the use cases for it. And that is absolutely absurd. There are other commenters who got a little bit more vivid in some of their jokes and examples. But the basics of it is, you don't want the people who failed before starting a new project in the same financial arena and failing again. or as one commenter put it, would you want a pedophile babysitting your kid? And he was like, your Bitcoin right now is your baby, and you got to watch it close. So.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good. That's actually.
I mean, it was a good one. It was messed up, but it was like that's true. You guys have already failed in your financial market that you built and had control of for the last how many years.
Yep.
Now we're just talking about handing over to crypto. And then on a serious note, they're right. Like Mexico, I didn't expect Mexico to make headlines already. I'll say that.
Yeah, I mean, people say they should solve the cartel problem as if their business isn't selling to Americans. I mean, we're the biggest buyers. There is no market without buyers.
Right,
so remember that. If you condemn people for what they sell, remember they wouldn't sell it if nobody was buying it. No. So in Mexico, the cartel problem, if they got to solve it, that's fine. But as far as the cryptocurrency goes, if the government tries to regulate it, it'll be pretty much the same as them regulating cartels. They'll still operate the way that they want to.
Right.
They'll just have to keep a close eye on them, not messing up their political, stance. So more of the same in a different realm if they go through with this, I think. But it won't matter. Regulations just.
I don't think, and in general, I don't think Mexico is one of those places. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think Mexico is one of those places people are really eyeballing as like a crypto capital.
Yeah. Could
be wrong, because I know definitely some big cities down there.
Yeah.
I mean, Mexico City is, it's one of the biggest cities in the world for sure. Yeah. So I'm sure they have something going on. However, just as the market adapted today, when South Korea is leading in trading volume, now that China's out the picture, it will automatically correct again if something in Mexico happens. People will just keep pushing, south if we have to. It doesn't.
Yeah.
So
every country is able to use this. So if one country is like, yeah, we don't, somebody's gonna step in.
What's going on, Dustin?
Africa, maybe the entire continent of Africa right now, every single country, I feel like has the potential to do what these other countries are doing regulation-wise. They're actually more accepting right now.
Yeah, Africa is very accepting. And one other country is accepting. It looks like Malaysia is becoming more accepting of it. They're talking about possibly legalizing Bitcoin.
Estonia.
Yeah. Estonia. So once again, you have these safe haven countries that are going to continue to pop up because the bottom line is the countries that don't want to do are already the haves. So all these countries who are traditionally the have-nots, look for them to start opening their borders up to being Bitcoin and friendly, because they do want to bring that blockchain and Bitcoin and crypto business there to help build their economy. And if in the future, that's how they go from one day being a third world country to a matter of 5 years being a first world country.
Yeah.
So,
and that's the real flippening.
Yeah.
When people talk about Ethereum and Bitcoin, I always say the real flippening is big countries who all they know is regulation versus small countries who are like, man, we don't care. If this can make us money, we're going for it. It's more poor countries than there are rich ones. So if you got hundreds of countries that don't have a lot of capital that can implement Bitcoin versus 2 or 3 superpowers who are like, well, we're going to regulate it to death. The smartest people, the Bitcoin people, are going to leave. They're going to go to these countries. They're going to be like,
buy some cheap property, start building.
Costa Rica, places like that. I know if you've never heard of Liberland, Liberland, it's right outside of Czechoslovakia. They actually created their own country around Bitcoin. They got a whole constitution. They got a whole. I mean, the people, they're not playing. They're like, they created in 2014. They were like, we will leave. Most people won't do it, but they're like, yeah, we will go.
Well, I mean, the fact that you have the ability to do it now, I mean, that's huge in general. At first, this wasn't even an option, a choice, anything you could think of it. Now, like you said, people are literally liberating themselves.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. Another big story now is Putin's internet advisor calls for U.S.-Russia cooperation. Basically, the whole world. This is why this story is huge, people. We've said it now this week. We said it last week. We've been heading toward it for the last few weeks. We are in a cyber war. This is literally World War III right now. World War III is ongoing. We're in a cyber war. However, the countries are just now realizing who their actual enemy is, and that's the enemy of their way of life. They are starting to realize the enemy is in other countries, even though it's too late for them to do anything. They're starting to see the real enemy is what? Decentralization. Right now, the war is between centralized actors, the U.S., Russia, all these other huge organizations, big banks, and decentralized actors, those who want the freedom to control their own money and do what they want to do without having, stringent oversight procedures and regulations over them. So this is important because Russia finally came out, like I said, the Minister of the Internet came out and basically almost as a plea to the U.S. and other foreign governments. You're talking mainstream, of course, some of the bigger guys. But they came out and said, let's stop competing, let's stop going at each other, and let's work together to figure this out. And now this is, this is how you see that one world, globalized, borderless, which I do think, honestly, I'm one of the people who think a borderless society isn't all bad. It's not bad. But this is also where you have to watch out for the one regulation, one rule government, one law, where they're going to start working together, saying, okay, if we can't chop this down by ourselves in our own countries, we're going to create a coalition to go after this thing together. And that is when it will become a problem.
Yeah, and I see it happening right now, that they're in cahoots to try and regulate, because regulators do what they've always done. They regulate. I mean, they're never going to, like you said yesterday, Andres Antonopoulos spoke to the Senate in Canada, and the first thing they ask is, how can we regulate it? Not, this is great technology, how can we get involved? That's all they know, is we got to figure out how to regulate it. They're going to regulate themselves into the ground to the point where they're not going to get the...
Nobody going to get it.
Yeah, nobody going to get it. Yeah, it is not. And on top of that, if they, push out those regulations, like I said, some of the smartest people are going to leave. Like Silicon Valley people, a lot of tech people have already gone.
The brain drain, right? People have already left. The brain drain is already happening. And right now, it might not seem like a big deal, but another 3 or 4 years, when we start to actually implement this technology and see it on the back end, technology and structural building of things, then it's gonna be like you're gonna be in last place. Your country will be in last place. So
what's up there? Yeah, everything's down today. What's up, Sneed? My brother too. What's going on, man? Yeah, everything's down today. It happens. There's nothing wrong. It's just low volume. I mean, to me it's up and down. It's really, really a lot of chop between 3,400 and 4,000 level. So anywhere between there, you'll probably see that number for the next few weeks till it's resolved.
And I forgot we had a fire alarm test in my building today. So yeah, on that note,
man, price so bad.
Look, the building don't want us. Look, they know we out here recording crypto talks. They like shut them down. Yeah. We're gonna shut them down. All right, so we'll just go ahead and end it early anyway, because that's really about what's going on. Last thing to watch out for are ICOs. All right, here's the real ICO alert right here, people. No shield zone. I'm going to leave you with something very valuable right now. Once again, we keep saying this for a reason. There's a reason why we haven't been plugging a lot of ICOs lately and other coins, and that's because we're starting to see how some of the sausage is made with some of these scam coins coming out.
See the pattern.
And I'm telling you now, there are literally companies that have already been built that are operating. This isn't going to stop. But they're really doing emergency testing now. I forgot. But there's companies out there that only sole purpose is to promote ICOs across all the different channels that we all use, as well as basically build up their following of venture capitalists and other ICOs that are coming out. So basically, if it's I won't say they're all scammers by any means. I won't say they're all scams by any means.
That's why I like live.
But what I will say is that there's companies out there that are literally just building up a picture-perfect representation of these companies, when the reality is it is no structure behind them, there is no experience behind them, and there are possibly organizations behind them that are the sophisticated hackers you hear about. I mean, honestly, this is another way of hacking / hijacking the system, and that's by creating literally a false company, multiple false companies that all look like they're in cohesion and everybody has a real job overseas that you never heard of, you can't find on Google, but in reality it is a very sophisticated scam. And they're doing it to a lot of ICOs at the same time. So think about maybe the next, and I'm just saying this for example, but the next possibly big 10 ICOs wherever that we never heard of their dev team. We can't find them on Google, but all of a sudden you go look them up and everyone has a huge following on LinkedIn and wherever else. All right, so we're gonna end this right now because this is making me a very happy person this morning.
Short show today anyway.
Nobody got the free Bitcoin yesterday because nobody said anything.
Nobody said anything. But at the same time, hey, we give out so much. If you don't do it, we can't give it away. So
come tomorrow. Yeah, that's all. What are we doing today, free Bitcoin?
For today, how low? Wait for this. How low do you think the Bitcoin price can go? I've heard some people say, "Oh, we'll buy it right now. It'll go back up soon." I've actually done my own. I think it'll go down maybe to the 2,800 level, depending on volume.
We got 2,000 here.
I saw somebody say they think it can go down to 1,700, somewhere in that range.
Blasphemy. Who said that? Those words.
But either way, that would be an awesome time to buy. I don't think it'll get that far, but that $3,000 range.
I know,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
No, I'm trying to hear that.
Hey, like I said, that's people's predictions. A lot of people are going short, but I will say, when everybody's saying it's short, something with Bitcoin is basically like the honey badger. I don't care. I'm going back up. So I will say that this is one of those uncertain times. So take a nap, take a walk. Don't worry about.
I was about
the price.
to say, go get some sunlight. We're all in front of this laptop too much every day anyway, people.
Like I said, every time I buy it, it goes down. Like I said, 2015, it was just a falling knife, but I still bought. So hey, everything went up times 3 at least. So
for the free Bitcoin tomorrow, go ahead in the quotes, put what you think the price is going to be, your public key as well, so we can see in the free Bitcoin.
Yep.
And then, yes, we will figure out which price we actually agree with. We'll say something, and we'll announce you tomorrow for the winner.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you all for watching. As always, you can follow us at Kirby Crypto, KRBE CRYPTO, and on at KingBless.com on I Go Live, where we go live every day as well.
Oh, yeah.
And this fire alarm is gonna make everybody go crazy. Hey, somebody says a fire sale. There's a fire sale in my building going on.
Yeah, exactly.
This fire alarm is going crazy. They're doing emergency testing. It's all good. I actually have a business meeting to get to this morning, so we're running around. But we'll come back with some more information for you the rest of this week. Thanks for watching, people.
Oh, yeah. Have a good one.
All right, I go live.